Been a freaking busy freaking time. This is the first one of 2022, and I got a lot to go over. We have a lot to go over. So, kick it off with the news. Let's just start with. There's a bunch of news. There is a bunch of news. Going so far back as Toni Storm has quit the WWE. She pretty much said, "You're not doing anything with me. I want out of my contract," and they said, "Yeah." So Toni Storm no longer with WWE. Good for her. Seriously, good for her. That is great. She saw she wasn't being used, so she just went, "Screw you, I'm out of here," and that's what she did. She is out of there. So Toni Storm no longer with the company. She has quit. Good for her. Hope to see her do better things. She'll probably go. If I had to guess, I think Toni Storm would go to Impact or New Japan Strong, because that's where her husband is. So yeah, there is that news to kick it off. Then we have a variety of Doctor Who news. Hey, yeah, we've got a bunch of Doctor Who news here. So I have again compiled it all into one big section because that's how I do it, you know. But this is all the Doctor Who news that has been kind of compiled from this week, from our good old buddies at Big Finish. If I can get the last bit of news up and running, I think I've got it here for us. Yeah, here we go. And there we go. Okay, so the first one is Short Trips Volume 11, which is their new format of short trips. They're going back to the old way of just doing volumes, like one volume a year. So Short Trips Volume 11 comes out February this year. And we've got 6 stories. So I can't tell from we have the name of the stories, who wrote them, and a brief bio on it, but some of them you can't tell who the Doctor is. So there's that. But I'm gonna read it. So the first one is called Rear Guard by Alfie Shaw. Trooper Strawn has been given a great honor by Suntar. He's been chosen as the rear guard on Uberus, protecting that world against anyone who would try to pry it from Suntaran control. The problem is no one's coming to claim Uberus, and that means there's no one for Strawn to fight. I think that one will be read by Mr. Dan Starkey, as he is listed on the cast here. So yeah, I don't know if that'll be a doctorless episode. It might be, but I don't know. I don't know what doctor they would classify that under. Then we have Messages from the Dead by Rakana Paddle. It says Adric wants to help the Doctor. The Doctor doesn't want Adric's help. Banished to updating the TARDIS logbook, Adric has to record the tale of the Hermes, a doomed freighter they found in E-space. With Romana gone and only the past as a guide, Adric needs to work out how to make this new dynamic work before it's too late for him and the Doctor. That's a 4th Doctor one set at the end of his tenure. Easy. That's easy. We have the Threshold by Felicia Barker. After a collision in the vortex, the Master is trapped in his TARDIS. Luckily, the Doctor has come to save him. Unluckily, the Doctor's TARDIS has vanished. With the ship collapsing around them, can these arch-enemies put their rivalry long aside to survive? Now, the Master on the cover is Delgado. So this makes me think this is going to be a Pertwee story. That's what they're going to classify this under, a Pertwee story. Death Will Not Part Us by Alfie Shaw. On the 14th of August the 3097, everything is fine on the world of Jernica. Except on the same day, the planet is being destroyed. Also on the 14th of August, 3097, no one in the universe has heard of Jernica. The planet's only chance to survive the horrors of the Time War lies with Viola Wintersmith. Her Viola has a weapon that can destroy anything that stands in her way. A weapon that requires a unique form of ammunition, her past. I think that will be a 10th Doctor one, because the 10th Doctor is on the cover. That could be a 10th Doctor one, or it's going to be an 8th Doctor one. Because it's Time War 8 on the cover, and then there's 10 on the cover, so I actually thinking about it, this is going to be a Time War 8 one, I think. We have Fear of Flying by Paul F. Verhoeven. Hawa Hassan is terrified of flying. However, to make the most important audition in her life, Hawa's braving boarding an aeroplane. After all, it's just one flight. What could go wrong? Don't know who that could be. That could be any doctor. An Inside Story by Ben Teds. Helen Howard wishes to make it known the pilot. Helen Howard wishes to make it known the plot. All names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this story are fictitious. No identification with actual persons or time travelers should be inferred. Don't know who that's going to be with. But yeah, that is the short trips. So it's just going to be one big bundle. It's $15. All these short trips, they all sound very interesting. If there's one I'm really looking forward to, it's probably The Threshold with the Master and the Doctor. That one's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. And then maybe The Rear Guard. Out of all these, the one I would not really look forward to is probably Fear of Flying. That just doesn't sound interesting. But yeah, there's that. And then we have some Ninth Doctor news. Oh boy. The Ninth Doctor's final box set of his first season comes out. It is titled Old Friends. Comes out in February, so next month for $20. And the Ninth Doctor beats the Brigadier. So, I've read on this one that this has of course, 3 stories. One is just a one solo, and then the other 2 is a 2-parter. So, the first story is Fond Farewell by David K. Barnes. It says Fond Farewell is an intergalactic funeral parlor with a difference. The deceased attend their own wake. Invited by celebrated naturalist Flynn Beckett to his memorial, the Doctor finds he's not quite the man he was. But who would steal the memories of the dead? That sounds interesting. So basically a place where dead people can see their funeral. That's cool. And then the first part of the 2-parter, Way of the Buryman by Roy Gill. Young Sam Bishop is at a crossroads with his girlfriend Fiona. She's staying in Scotland, and he wants to travel the world. As their Buryman celebrations begin, ghosts haunt the Forth Bridge. Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart arrives to investigate, and so does the Doctor. And then the second part is called The Fourth Generation by Roy Gill. The Fourth Generation have emerged. The Doctor, Brigadier Sam, and Fiona are at their mercy. Is there a way to defeat them? Has UNIT learned from the past? And can the enemy's nature be changed for the future? That, of course, sounds very interesting. And yeah, there we go. That is the end of the Ninth Doctor's first season. He comes back with the first box set of his new season. Let me just check that it debuts in May. In May, number 2 will be released, and they recorded number 2 in October of last year. So yeah, no information on the first set of season 2. Yeah, no information on that. So, the next one is Doctor Who The Annihilators. We talked about this a couple, I think either last time or a couple of times, but there's been an update. There has been an update, especially to the cast. Added to the cast is Michael Troughton playing the second Doctor and Fraser Hines playing Jamie. They have been added. This for the second Doctor, and Jamie would now. So now we have a multi-Doctor story. Is the Annihilators with the third and second Doctor, which is awesome. However, apparently this could fit into Season 6B, which I'm not a fan of. I don't like Season 6B. So I'm going to try and put this into my own canon somewhere. Probably around the time if I was around the 2 Doctors, for me, at least. So yeah, the 2nd Doctor and Jamie have now been added, and of course, Michael Troughton playing his father's role of the 2nd Doctor. And in the 2nd Doctor box set coming later this year, Michael Troughton will be playing the 2nd Doctor. So Big Finish have found their 2nd Doctor. It's kind of a doy thing that they haven't picked him sooner, but it is what it is, I guess. And then the final big Doctor Who news, Doctor Who interludes are going to be a thing. So when you get a big box set, you get these little things called interludes, which are going to be like little audiobooks that they're like something extra. So yeah, that's what the Big Finish have announced. They said these are new audiobook extras entitled interludes, and they are going to be offered as additional bonus downloads when you buy a box set with the 5th, 6th, and 7th Doctors. So 5, 6, and 7 each are going to get their own little mini stuff. The first one came out when the 5th Doctor 40 Part 1 went out, because that went out this week. And the first one went out, and it was called I, Chameleon, written by Dominic G. Martin. So yeah, there's going to be one for the 6th Doctor adventure in May, and then another one for the 7th Doctor in June. So that's cool. You get like a little extra something when you get the box set, which I think is cool. Okay. That's going to do it for the Doctor Who news. Now we move on to wrestling. I watched WWE Day 1 on January 1st. And Day 1 was a show. That's what it was. It was a show. Let me pull up the match card here, see what it was. Okay. So, the results. The Usos versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. This match was the Usos versus the New Day. I don't know what you want me to say. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, mind-blowing. Oh my god. It was just fine. And the Usos retain. Then we had Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. Didn't pay attention whatsoever to this match. I wasn't paying attention. Drew McIntyre wins. Okay, whatever. RK Bro versus the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team titles. Again, didn't pay attention. This was just, didn't care. RK Bro retained. Edge versus Miz, which went for 20 long, excruciating minutes. Was so boring, and I was falling asleep. I was legitimately falling asleep during the match. Beth Phoenix showed up near the end to stop Maurice from interfering, and we're going to do a mixed tag match of the Royal Rumble. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan for the Raw Women's title. This match wasn't bad. It was just decent. They botched the finish, though, because Becky was supposed to pin Liv Morgan with her feet on the ropes, but she couldn't get it. So then she just pinned her clean. So, sorry, Liv. And then the main event. Of course, big thing going into Day 1. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for the Universal title was called off because Reigns got COVID. So Lesnar was then inserted into the WWE title match, making it a fatal 5-way. And this was the match of the night. Easy. Brock Lesnar won the WWE Championship. And best part of the show, best match. This was the takeaway from the show. And goddamn, man. That's how you end a show. I'll tell you that much. That I was legitimately just ecstatic that Brock Lesnar won the WWE Championship. I was so happy. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is the current WWE Champion. This is my man. Viking Lesnar is the dude. And they've already set it up. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. I am there. Easy. That week was also NXT New Year's Evil. So I watched that, and we started off with a unification match for the North American and Cruiserweight Championship as Carmelo Hayes fought Roderick Strong. This match was great. I was like, expected. It's Carmelo Hayes versus Roddy Strong. Really good match here, but we all knew the outcome, which was Roderick Strong losing to Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes has now absorbed the Cruiserweight title, and the Cruiserweight title is now gone forever, which sucks, but they didn't care about it really anyway. Riddle and MSK fought Imperium, Volter, Fabian Eichner, and Marcel Bartel in a 6-man. This was the match I was like not really caring about because I don't care about MSK. I really only watched the parts where Volter or Riddle were in the ring. So there was that. And in the end, MSK and Riddle won. So yeah, there's that. And Volter is now permanently moving to NXT 2.0. So, I mean, it'll be cool to see my man Volter just kill everyone. So, you know. Then we had Triple Threat for the NXT Women's Championship. Mandy Rose defended against Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez. This match was fine. It was just a fine standard triple threat. Mandy Rose retained. Obviously, we expected Mandy Rose to retain. She retained with a roll-up. So there's that. And then the main event. Tommaso Ciampa defended the NXT title against Braun Breaker. We all knew Braun Breaker was winning. We knew this was his time, and it was his time. He won the NXT title. You damn right. So, Tommaso Ciampa, it looks like he's going up to the main roster. May God have mercy on your soul. And Braun Breaker is now the man in NXT. Now, other news. NWA has returned to YouTube. I was so happy to hear this news. NWA has returned to YouTube. NWA Power will now air on Fridays on YouTube, and then on Saturdays they have a new YouTube show called NWA USA, which is like their secondary show. So I watched both of those. It was great to watch NWA again, man. So I can now add the NWA to my weekly wrestling schedule, which I'm so happy about. And then to end the news, William Regal and Samoa Joe were both released from the company. Samoa Joe was just hired back by Triple H, and he's gone again. And William Regal has, of course, worked backstage, and he was on screen as the general manager of NXT. This is apparently being seen as like Vince is getting rid of Triple H's boys backstage. So there's that. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I can absolutely see that as Vince being like, all right, I gotta get rid of Hunter's guys here. They're causing a bit of a problem for me. So yeah, there is that. That's all the news. It sucks for Samoa Joe. Hopefully he can go to AEW and do great stuff and wrestle. And actually wrestle. Please, Joe, wrestle. I just want you to wrestle. So that's it. That's the news, and that's all I'm really got. The only thing I got is plans for 2022. My plans are to finish SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom and Batman Arkham Asylum this month. Finish those series, get them done. Continue, obviously, for the channel. Doctor Who reviews are going to be coming out. I got a bunch of them in the backlog. I'm just waiting to release them. And then when Arkham and SpongeBob are done, I'm going to fully focus on doing Sword Art Online Rehala Fragment. And that is going to be the big thing for a really long time. And then obviously, of course, 2K22 comes out in March. So the big things on the channel will be Sword Art, Holofragment, and 2K22. With a bit, I think, of Retromania sprinkled in every now and then. So that's what the channel's looking like. And of course, a bit of Doctor Who reviews every now and then. So the channel's looking pretty busy. And yeah, I'm so excited for this, man. 2022, I feel that this is going to go well. I have a feeling that this is going to go well.